there, everyone. Welcome to the Corporation of Content Creating Capsuleers Pie Guide. This is brought to you by Kane, and I'll be bringing you along on this journey to making ISK and plexing your accounts. Alright, so what we have here is our ship maintenance array for the corporation, and you're going to want to have, or make sure you grab the ship or a ship that has 1,000 cubic meters of cargo space, so you can put a command center in it. For us, that would be this one. It's keep in pos something command center with the CC, and it's an epithal. And great bait ship, whatever. Alright, so you're gonna need a few skills, obviously. For us, that's Galente Industrial 1 at least. And then if you look over here and you go to planetary management, you're going to want minimum skills of at least 4 in these two and 3 in these scanning skills or surveying skills. So I have the skill training list posted in the order that's appropriate for getting started as quickly as possible on our corporate skill training guides. So that can be easily downloaded and loaded into Evemon. Alright. Now you're gonna need a command center for the planet you're gonna be setting up Pi on. For now, I think I'm doing a Baron. Yes, Planet 2 is the one we're assaulting. So you're gonna want to drag one of those into your ship, and then click on the planet. View in planet mode. It should load. Now you have this nifty option to scan everything. And you can click on the resource you want to scan for. And you'll notice there are hotspots. Now, this is a bad example because typically I'd use a barren planet for a production center, but I'm just gonna build up Pi 1 production on here, which is what you should do on planets that have rare resources. And for the sake of this, I'm going to just do P1 production on, I guess, looking at resources, I might as well do carbon compounds. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is find a spot and kind of just wherever. It doesn't really matter for this because we have access to the Pocos and we're not going to use our command centers to launch much, if at all. Just click there, yeah. So you go to build, click command center, and then you can place it down wherever. I'm going to actually put it kind of here. So you do that and then submit. Now you're going to want to upgrade it, so you click on upgrade here, and then go all the way to the max your skill allows. It's going to cost multiple million ISK. So mine's 4.2 million ISK, which is quite a bit for a new player, but it's worth it. And I'm just going to submit that. Alright, so you're going to want to extractor control unit. And on the resource you're aiming for, you want to find a very rich area like this. Try and keep most of it within the radius of your like the max radius of your extractor. Because sometimes, if you're lucky, you can get multiple resources. This depends on the planet. Oh yeah, and submit it, because you can't actually put down extractors until you do that. Alright, so just install all of those. You'll notice I was within range of both these resources. However, I only want carbon compounds right now. So what I'm going to do is spread these out, because as you are gathering resources with your extractor, it sucks them out of the surrounding area, and it's like you're digging in the sand and it falls into the pit you dig, like back in as you're digging. So you want a little space between your extractor heads. But you do want to keep the vast majority in the red area, because that's the densest location of the resource you're getting. Alright, so I'll move the rest of these heads a little bit later. For now, I'm going to show y'all why I have them spaced so far apart. So as you increase the extraction area size, you increase the duration of the program and how long it is until you have to come restart it. You can put it up for 2 weeks, but as you notice, you lose a bunch of yield as about you hit 3 days-ish, you start losing yield and you get down to the minimum for the planet, which is fine on a production planet if you just want to run an extractor for long durations and not really bother with it. You just won't make as much IS from extracting. However, you'll notice that like one day that the yield is maintained pretty well throughout. So about right there is pretty much max yield I'm going to get for that planet in that area. So you'll notice if I do 3 days, I kind of hit on that lower end. So you can just play with this. So what I'm looking for is about your units per hour and total units over the period, so the duration. So I want to try and hit 1,000,000 units a day. That way, you get about 5 to 7 million ISK in raw materials. So you're going to end up with around 230 whatever raw output quality index. So I'm just going to install that. And we come down to the D-scan here. So we'll go over to processors. Since this is a barren planet, there's a high-tech production option. Most of the other planets are not going to have that. There's one, I think it's ice or something. I don't remember. There's another one that's also able to do high-tech, I believe. So first off, we're going to place down a spaceport. This will be our kind of like in waiting escrow stationary holding like distribution center. And then we'll be launching everything into the customs office when it is completed. So you want it pretty much as close as possible to the thing next to it, because you have to create links, and links use power and or CPU depending on the distance. And so for your extractor link and the amount of raw material you're extracting, a regular link isn't going to suffice, so you need to hover over it till it says a percentage. Click it, go to upgrade. So now you have a level 1 upgrade or 1 upgraded link, and you can now click your extractor, go to products, click the products, and then create a route. So you need to create that to your launch pad. And if you look, you have an amount of whatever raw material incoming. That is from your extractor. You could just run that and just launch the raw material at this point and put up multiple extractors. However, that does not net you the most ISK per hour, and also it costs you more in taxes and it's harder to ship. So as you process goods, you reduce the volume of goods, which makes it more profitable per trip. Is what I would call it. So what you're gonna want to do is set up a bunch of processors for Pi 1, which are the basic facilities, and you just need one input, which is the raw material you're using, you're gathering. Also, I'm gonna click off that. That's annoying. Alright. I'm just gonna do 3 for now, but I think the total I can fit is 10. This is just for example purposes. I'll do the rest later. Alright, so you need to create links for all these. To the launchpad as such, and you do not need to upgrade them. You're not moving the entire product to there, you're just moving a portion. So what you're going to need to do is click it, one of the facilities, go to schematics, and find which one uses the input you're gathering. So biofuels would be for carbon compounds. So you're going to want to install that. Next, you're going to want to click on the route. You're going to want to create a route. And you want that to be the launch pad. Do this for each of these. Alright, so you'll notice that these links are only using 1% of the capacity, and this one's using 3. That is because it adds together all the capacity being shoved through that single link from all the other ones. So that's kind of how you can tell if your links are going through. Alright, so next step is to click on your launchpad, go to roots, and you'll need to click on the carbon compounds that are incoming and redirect some of that to your production facilities. Alright, pretty easy. So now you're going to want to submit, and I will show you an example of what's going on. This is going to fill up in 15 minutes. It's going to deposit it in the launch facility. These are going to pull from the deposited amount in the launch facility, process them in 30 minutes, and then redeposit them in the launch facility. So eventually your launch facility will be full of finished products, and you will have to click on launch, drag them from here to here. As an example, I'll show you from another planet, so bear with me for a second. Alright, so here's one that I've had running. I don't know if I updated or managed it last night, which I should have done. So bear with me if there's some issues. Doesn't look like I did, considering it's off. Yep. Alright, so let me start this running. Alright, so I'm making chiral structures, or chiral structures. As you can see, I have a tiny amount of them in here. As I forgot to restart this after I set it for like an hour. And what you're going to want to do when you have a finished product is drag it over like so and click transfer. Can't do it when you have standing stuff on your build queue. So just probably what happened is I forgot to update or submit the next like survey cycle. So once you click on survey for deposit and set the duration, don't forget to submit it. Otherwise, you will have the same problem I just had. So what I would end up doing here is I'm going to end up mining this out, this little deposit, and repositioning all of this somewhere like down here in this bigger deposit. But I do think I'm here in this one for suspended plasma. Yeah, see, there's a suspended plasma deposit there I could grab. So, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Just gotta keep on top of it, make sure you're updating. Set your set your survey times for longer durations, so that you don't. So if you do forget to check on them, you can reset them as needed, and they aren't stopped. So like I'll just set that for 5 days and then come back to it probably in a day or two and see what I got, and make sure I I can move these for better yields. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and I hope that was informative. Don't forget to submit. Also, you can do this while cloaked. Thanks for watching. Fly dangerous.